نتشرف اليوم بالباحثة هاله أحمد نبيل، والتي ستقدم لنا بحثاً بعنوان Inquiry-Based Learning and Learning Approaches Guided by the IB International Baccalaureate Programs, Effectiveness and Adopted Theories.
Good afternoon.
I don't think it's working, but
You can raise your voice?
hopefully, yes, you can hear.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Dr. Hale. I've been working in the field of education for 30 years. I started by educating and teaching at university, and then since 1999 I switched to the field of schools. And currently I'm an educational consultant. I'm for 3 schools, Aruba School, GIS, and also the ethnic school in Chile, that's in one. And also I'm heading a fellow international school, which is an IB. Okay. So my research, the title is Inquiry-Based Learning and Learning Approaches Guided by the IB, which is the International Baccalaureate Programs, Effectiveness and Adopted Theories. And what made me go into this field of research actually, and how I developed my study problem, was that I found that the traditional way and the teacher-centered classrooms are not developing enough our students. And while implementing through the experience in the IB, I've seen how the inquiry-based and the project-based learning is really changing and helping with the implementation of the approaches to learning in developing our learners and future students. With a continuum looking into the future and looking into how I'm preparing them for college and how I'm preparing them for career. And actually this was reflected in all the discussions that happened today, whether when we talk about the human resources, while we talk about the implementation of AI and the development and other things, the language and the difficulties, it's all falling under the topic of the study.
Okay. It seems that you are in the IB system.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you. How can the IB system specifically achieve the skills integration to foster lifelong learners who are able to face our rapidly changing from your point of view, according to the objectives of your study?
Yeah, I'll tell you one through a simple example of something that we do inside of the classroom, like by age of the students or the learners.
طب ممكن تجيب لي حجاره اهو
When we
ماشي
are
معلش
studying the area and the parameter, we're not assigning them the fixed task where we say, like, learn through the theory or go and follow, like the theory and just memorize and then solve the equations and so on. However, we are assigning them a project which is involving their parents and the students both alike. So parents are following the learning of the students and they know what their kids are studying at school without having the issue of bring up your book and follow me and the struggles that we're facing as families. And when we assign them to study about the area and the perimeter, we ask them, we give them actually like a financial budget or a sum of money, and we ask them with specific criteria and clear expectations to know what I'm targeting. So I want you to use the budget, I want you to do the design of a room, and I want you to let me know how you're going to implement this theory that you studied in a standalone subject, which is the mathematics. And also, I need you to use the ICT or the information technology or the design using a specific program for room designing. This is very good because the student is not only implementing a standalone objective, which is the basic. They are applying, and they're applying linking to real life actually experience. It's very good because it's creating quality time with parents, because parents are invited to take their kids to tile shops or like appliances.
But on the other hand, many parents complained that the IB system has no fixed source of studying, like papers, worksheets, booklets, and something like this.
Yeah.
This is actually, I would say this is a misconception about the IB. IB, it's not a fixed curriculum. It does not follow a specific country. And I'm free as a team, we are free as a team to choose whatever resources we feel are going to be meeting and covering all the objectives needed. And objectives, when I speak about the standalone objectives, they are unified around the world. You find some differences, like here in Egypt, we're a little bit squeezing the programs. And India, they are different in terms of the mathematics, Germany a little bit. But however, all the standards are unified all around the world. So I am free to choose whatever resources I want. Students in the core subjects, English and mathematics, they have to have a book and a workbook, but it's encouraging having multiple and open resources, which is a burden actually on the academic team and the teachers, and it requires a lot of work to be done because we are building the plan and building the learning inside the school, and we're following specific themes, 6 themes, and they start from the PYP, which is the primary years program, and they are 8 years, those are 8 years long. And then we have the 5 years, the middle school, and then we have the DP. The good thing is when we work with this approach, we do not find the issue of students finding a topic or reaching the examinations like what happens sometimes in the IG. And the criteria are not clear, the benchmark is changing, and they are not fairly rewarded, or they are just memorizing to go for an exam and they are not benefiting on the level of, like, again, the college and the career afterwards. The indication that it's done properly is that in most colleges like Cambridge and also like the AUC here in Egypt and most of the colleges, they are, I would say they omit like a semester or maybe a whole year. They do not have to do it, which means they are reaching the level of the college with a good readiness and well-prepared students. You're welcome. Actually, I have like my personal view, which is out of even broader than the study, because in the study I focused on how we should be looking into the examples and the models and how we should implement this in other schools around. And I think that some schools like the Egyptian, the advanced schools, the Egyptian advanced schools, and they are following the Ministry of Education, they were able to do this in 3 campuses actually. So training the teacher again is very important, and turning our classrooms into student-centered ones, not teacher-centered ones, is very effective. On the other level, I think that we can do to facilitate the task on the government and on all boards of schools is to do the concept of the micro-teaching or micro-training. So when I have a team who's trained, because it requires a specific certification.
I think the parents as well need
the parents are part
very
of the
qualified workshops to deal with the system in the right way.
Actually, we start everything in the system with the parents involved. So even by setting the policies, they are part of it. When we discuss the assessment policy, when we discuss the curriculum policy, or
even
everything.
to deal in the right way with the educational platform.
Yes, yeah. So they are part of everything, starting from the mission and the vision, starting from the policies, how we lay out. They are involved and this is a good involvement because it's a positive one. They know what we're doing without nagging, and also they are enjoying the learning and the development of their.
But what about the gap that is always happens between the PYP and the MYP, the primary stage and the middle stage in the IB system?
Actually, I think this comes from the schools who are not following the proper training for the staff, and they don't know how to build it properly, because again, when you set the curriculum, and when we set the curriculum, we set it with the name or under the name of a continuum. So for currently, when I'm having the college and the career in mind. So I'm not just putting a program and I say like, we think about what's going to come in the MYP. No, I'm planning with a constructive way, and here when the theories are involved, like when I'm talking about the constructivism of Piaget and other
Integrated
things.
system, you mean integrated
Yeah,
system?
it's a build-up. So I can take a topic starting by knowing the body parts and moving into senses and then the body systems, and then we go into the autopsy and the more specialized things. So there is a proper build-up which is enriching and consolidating the learning with the students.
Okay, thank you so
You're
much,
more
Ms.
than
Hale.
welcome. Thank you.
Very well done.